it's my variation of the card to box trick, and there might be a dead giveaway of what this trick is going to look like with the setup I have here. But it's still really, really cool, and it's actually not that hard to do. So this is what the trick looks like. So we can have the spectator. I'm just going to have him tap a card. Let's say it's this one right here. And what we're going to do is we're not going to look at it, but we're just going to place it underneath the card box, just like that. I want to very carefully set it down like that. Alright? Cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have the spectator choose any card they want in the deck. So let's say they choose this card right there. Alright? So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to show you guys the card. That is your card. And what we're going to do is we're just going to have them call it stop. So stop right there. And I'm just going to place it right here. I'm going to set the rest of the deck right on top. And we're just going to give the deck, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's say 6 cuts. That's, I don't know, 6 or 7 cuts, alright? So now I'm going to give it a riffle shuffle just to really mix up every card. And then I'll do an overhand shuffle just to seal the deal. Alright, so now what we're going to do is I'm actually going to spread out the cards, and I'm going to have the spectator look for their card and tell me when they've seen it, alright? So I'm just going to go through the deck like this, and they'll just say stop when they see their card, alright? Did you see your card? No, you didn't, because your card is no longer in the deck. Well, this trick is called card to box, right? So if I just move the box, we see the card I put under there at the very beginning of the trick is actually your card, the 8 of clubs. Now, I think a lot of you have an idea of how this works, but I'm pretty sure you will have no idea how this works when I tell you that this card could have been signed. There are no duplicate cards. So if you want to learn how to do that trick, well, here's the tutorial. Alright guys, so for this trick you're going to need the card box and a deck of cards. You are also going to need a table. I should point that out. But anyway, here's what the trick looks like. You are going to start off with having them choose any card, but say tap a card, not choose a card, because we don't want them to look at it, and you don't want to look at it either, alright? And you're just going to place it underneath the card box, but what you're really doing is this. Okay, we're going to square it up, and we're going to set it down, but there's nothing underneath the card box. I just put the card on top. So what you're doing is this. You're going to hold the card with your thumb and your middle finger, or your pointer finger, and then your middle finger if you want to. And you're just going to square it up like this. So you're going to hit your thumb, and you're just going to slide it over, and then you're going to drop the card there. And you're gonna you don't want to go like that, because then they know there's not a card underneath it. You want to place it down very, very carefully and precautiously, like that. Okay? Because I actually am going to put a card underneath it. And if you go like this, they can see the card right there. Or even if you set it down like this, there's a chance that they can't see the card. I don't think you can, but there is a chance that you could. But you're not actually putting a card under, you're just dropping it on top of the deck, and then acting like you have a card, set it down very carefully, alright? Now I do want to say this, don't perform this for, you know, like hecklers or skeptics or other magicians, because they're going to know that was a little suspicious of what you put under the box. They're going to want to examine the box. You're like, can I see the card? And then they're going to realize that there's not even a card under there. So perform this to people who are like lay people, not really your close friends, just, I'd say strangers is pretty good for this trick. And then what you're going to do is you can have them shuffle up the deck as much as they want. They could have actually done this beforehand. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have them choose any card in the deck. It actually can be any card. It can be the top, the bottom, anywhere in the middle. So let's say they choose this card right there, alright? Now they're going to see it, but you don't want to see it, alright? But obviously it's a tutorial, so 4 of clubs, alright? What you're going to do is you're going to riffle down, and you want them to say stop roughly halfway, but really it's anywhere you want. So say stop, that's about halfway. You're going to take their card, place the rest on top, but get a pinky break above their card, above, not below. And then you're just going to cut it to the top. And then if you want, you could do the 3-way triple false cut. I taught this in my last video, so go check that out if you want to learn it. But basically all you're doing is taking about a third of the deck, putting it in this hand, take another third, put it in this hand with a break, set this packet on the table, then the next packet from the break, and then this packet. And that's essentially what you're doing, alright? So what you're going to do next is once you have their card control to the top, you could just do some false shuffles, or not false shuffles, but just maintaining their card on top. I did a riffle, but I just kept their card on top like so. And then I did an overhand shuffle. Most of you know, if you've seen my other videos, that you peel off the first card and then do other cards on top to control to the bottom. And then if you want to control to the top, you do the opposite way. But what you're doing is kind of like that. You're going to go like this, and you just peeled off the top and bottom card. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your thumb and just peel off one card, alright? But these 3 fingers on the back are also going to peel off the top card, like so. So it's going to look like that. And you want to do it kind of fast. You don't want to go like, and then we'll give it a riffle shuffle, because then there's a chance you might flash that card, or that they might realize that you didn't really just do one card, you did 2 instead. What I meant to say is, it looks suspicious. That's what I'm saying. So basically, you're just going to peel off the top and bottom, and then really quickly just put more cards on top so it'll look like, and then we'll give it a overhand shuffle to seal the deal, alright? So once you do that, and their card is still on top, you're going to place your hand like this, like you're in biddle grip. So you're going to hold it upside down like this, so with these 3 fingers here, your thumb here, and what you're going to do is you're going to take these 4 fingers and just push back that top card like this, and they won't see it because your hand's covering it up. So from a front view it looks like that, and you can't really see it. But once, and you only want it to do about that much. You don't want any more. You don't want to go like halfway. You can, but then that goes a little bit over. So just like right there. If you're using a bicycle tech, I say that little figure, that's as far as you want to go. So I'd say that's pretty good right there. So once you do that, you're going to spread out the cards, and their card is right there, but it's covered up with all these cards. Alright, so that's what you're doing. You're hiding their card like that. Well, that wasn't very good, but that's essentially what you're doing. And then you're going to go through the deck, and you're going to say, just look for your card and tell me when you see it. And if they say yes, and it's the soulmate of their card, I would also suggest, and remember the suit as well, just to say, just so they don't say yes, and it's the soulmate, meaning it's the 4 of spades, or they pick the 7 of hearts and it's the 7 of diamonds. So they're going to go through, and when you get to the last card, don't touch the last card, just like, here, I'm going to do it again. You're essentially, no, that was bad. So you want to stop about here. When you see that last card about, or the second to last card, just stop there. And then they're going to be like, well, where's my card? You're going to square up everything, just like so. And then this is like the only sort of hard move you have to do, alright? It's called a top palm, and it looks like this, alright? Now, you might have caught it in the performance because I can't really misdirect you in front of the camera. But what you're doing is you're going to hold it in biddle grip like this, except your pinky is going to go right here and push it forward like that. So when it pushes forward, it pushes off the edge and it forces that card up. And then once you do that, it just kind of is in your palm like that. So there's not a really good way to explain it, but I'll just do it again. You're going to hold it like this, but your pinky is going to go in this corner right here. And it's going to push forward like that, and then that makes the card come up into the top of your hand. Now you want to sort of angle it like this towards the spectator, because if you're like this, there's a chance they could see that corner right there. So you just kind of want to keep it like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to push the card box away kind of fast and set that card down. So it'll look like this. And the dialogue here is, because at the beginning of the trick we put a card underneath the card box. And it really, really does look like the card was there the whole time. So that's pretty good as well. And if you don't really care about ruining your deck or anything, you could have them sign this card. I actually recommend having them sign this card. And that's basically the trick. So I'm going to go over the whole thing one more time. And we're going to stay with the 4 of clubs, right? So they tap a card, they tap the 4 of clubs. And what you're going to do is we're just going to place their card underneath the card box, just like that. And their 4 of clubs is still on top. Nothing's underneath the card box. You set it down very carefully as an act. And then what you're going to do is just do some... you're going to actually, before you do that, you're going to have them choose a card. They choose the 4 of clubs. Kind of got off topic there, but basically they chose the 4 of clubs, okay? But once you do that, you're going to have them call it stop, place it in the center, get a pinky break, give it like 2 or 3 cuts, and then if you have enough space, do that triple false cut like that. Now their card is still on top, and then you're going to give it a riffle like so, keeping their card on top, and then you're going to do that overhand shuffle, but you're going to peel off the back card as well as the front card, shuffle blocks of cards on top of it, and then you're going to say, well, I'm going to spread out the cards and tell me when you see your card. Push their card back a little bit, spread out the cards, go through them, but be careful not to tap the very last card. Stop about there and say, did you see your card? And they say no. You square up the cards without flashing that 4 of clubs. I forgot to mention that. And then you're going to hold it like this. Push your pinky forward so the card shoots up in your hand. And say, that's because we put a card underneath the card box. And it was your card, the 4 of clubs. And once again, it could be their signed 4 of clubs. And that's the trick, guys, and I hope you like it.